Good morning, everyone, and thank you for choosing today's market analysis. Every day, our goal is to provide you with a thorough and knowledgeable analysis of the most relevant financial news to help you navigate the complex economic landscape. Let's begin our daily review. Market analysis, October 11, 2023. Asian stocks follow Wall Street gains on Fed rate stance, markets rally, dollar declines. In Asia, South Korea's stock market climbed over 2% while Australian shares ticked higher in morning trading. Japan's Nikkei index was little changed. On Wall Street Tuesday, the S&P 500 gained for a third straight day, approaching the 4,400 level. Shares of Amazon rose amid the company's Prime Day sales event, while PepsiCo climbed on an upbeat earnings forecast. The SIBO Volatility Index, or VIX, fell to its lowest point in 2 weeks, signaling reduced fear among investors. Chinese stocks listed in the U.S. surged the most in over a month after reports that China is considering new economic stimulus measures. The yield on the benchmark 10-year U.S. Treasury note fell significantly Tuesday, dropping 15 basis points to 4.65%, as trading resumed following the Columbus Day holiday. Investors drove yields lower on signs the Fed may pause interest rate hikes. Fed funds futures now show a 60% chance policymakers will stay on hold at their December meeting, a reversal from last week when traders saw a 60% probability of another rate hike. The US dollar declined for a sixth straight session Tuesday, its longest losing streak since July. Oil prices steadied near $86 per barrel after surging the most since April in the previous session. The Japanese yen gained ground after falling sharply Monday. The currency found support on a report the Bank of Japan may revise its inflation forecast close to 3%. Investors are watching for the outcome of a key 5-year Japanese bond auction Wednesday. Recent comments from Federal Reserve officials have reinforced expectations of a less aggressive Fed. Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic said rates are likely high enough to bring inflation down to the 2% target. Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari stated rates may be nearing neutral levels, but cautioned it depends on what's driving the surge in Treasury yields. According to BMO Capital Markets, policymakers have begun to acknowledge a lesser need for further policy action given financial conditions have tightened considerably after the recent surge in Treasury yields. This has eased concerns over additional imminent rate hikes. The minutes from the Fed's September meeting will be released Wednesday. Investors will look for clues on whether the Fed plans to follow through with its projected rate path. Upcoming inflation and consumer sentiment data Thursday and Friday may also provide critical guidance. In global political developments, President Biden said the U.S. is sending additional military support to Israel following the weekend attack by Palestinian militant group Hamas. The White House indicated it will encourage Qatar to facilitate talks with Hamas about releasing American hostages seized during the incursion. Before proceeding with our analysis, we would like to remind you that your support is very important to us. If you enjoy this video and find our content helpful and engaging, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. This helps us grow and provide you with even more quality content. Now, let's get back to the news on the financial markets and the latest updates. JPMorgan completed its first live blockchain transaction involving tokenized shares as collateral. The U.S. banking giant used its Ethereum-based Onyx blockchain and tokenized collateral network to tokenize BlackRock money market fund shares. The tokens were then transferred to Barclays as collateral for an over-the-counter derivatives trade. Banks have been keen to tokenize traditional financial assets on blockchain, with JPMorgan leading the charge, now joined by others like Citi. In other news, Coinbase's legal battle over crypto's status met resistance as U.S. state regulators sided with the SEC. The case centers on whether Coinbase unlawfully operated an unregistered exchange. The outcome is seen as pivotal for crypto's future, with the sector accusing the SEC of overreach without new laws from Congress. Now, 3 amicus briefs argue crypto should not be treated differently, and the SEC can regulate digital assets under existing statutes. Former FTX CEO Caroline Ellison testified she committed fraud at the direction of founder Sam Bankman-Fried. Ellison is the government's key witness in the trial of Bankman-Fried. She was CEO of Alameda Research, the hedge fund accused of stealing customer funds from FTX. Prosecutors had Ellison confirm she committed crimes with Bankman-Fried. In market insights, Bitcoin Cash saw the biggest jump in liquidity last quarter according to data provider Kaika. Greater liquidity makes it easier for large traders to execute big orders without slippage between expected and actual prices. Bitcoin Cash liquidity may make it an attractive alternative for crypto traders anticipating volatility. An industry report showed the number of active crypto developers has fallen to its lowest since 2020, shedding tourist developers during the bear market. Per Reflexivity Research, just over 19,000 hardcore developers remain committed to building through the downturn. Key events this week: Germany CPI, Wednesday. NATO defense ministers meeting in Brussels, Wednesday. Russia Energy Week in Moscow with officials from OPEC members and others, Wednesday. US PPI, Wednesday. Minutes of Fed September policy meeting, Wednesday. Fed's Michelle Bowman and Raphael Bostic speak at separate events, Wednesday. Japan Machinery Orders, PPI, Thursday. Bank of Japan's Asahi Noguchi speaks, Thursday. UK Industrial Production, Thursday. US Initial Jobless Claims, CPI, Thursday. European Central Bank publishes account of September policy meeting, Thursday. Fed's Raphael Bostic speaks, Thursday. China CPI, PPI, trade, Friday. Eurozone Industrial Production, Friday. U.S. University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment, Friday. Citigroup, JPMorgan, Wells Fargo, BlackRock results as the quarterly earnings season kicks off, Friday. G20 finance ministers and central bankers meet as part of IMF gathering, Friday. ECB President Christine Lagarde, IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva speak on IMF panel, Friday. Fed's Patrick Harker speaks, Friday. Some of the main moves in markets. Stocks. S&P 500 futures were little changed as of 9:31 a.m. Tokyo time. The S&P 500 rose 0.5%. Nasdaq 100 futures rose 0.2%. The Nasdaq 100 rose 0.6%. Japan's Topix was little changed. Australia's S&P/ASX 200 rose 0.4%. Currencies. The Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index was little changed. The euro was little changed at $1.0610. The Japanese yen rose 0.1% to 148.53 per dollar. The offshore yuan was little changed at 7.2841 per dollar. The Australian dollar rose 0.1% to $0.6441. Cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin was little changed at $27,409.54. Ether rose 0.6% to $1,568.79. Bonds. The yield on 10-year treasuries was little changed at 4.65%. Australia's 10-year yield declined 2 basis points to 4.43%. Commodities. West Texas Intermediate crude was little changed. Spot gold was little changed. This story was produced with the assistance of Bloomberg Automation. In conclusion, we'd like to thank you for watching today's market analysis. If you enjoyed our insights and found the information helpful, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to our channel to stay updated with future analyses. Thank you again for your support, and we'll see you soon with more interesting news. Remember, the information in this video is purely informational and does not constitute investment advice. Always consult with a professional before making financial decisions.